Alright, hello Riven mains and Yasuo mains alike. I am the Nightwing, Way of Life Esports, coming at you guys with another League of Legends video. Now, overall, this split has been very much so a lot better than spring. You know, people still criticize North America about macro, gameplay, wave assignments, objective control, dragon control, Baron, control, and all those other things, champion celeb, coaches, players. I've just probably named everything people criticize about North America. Oh, solo queue is one of them. But overall, it is time to talk about the candidates for the LCS MVPs. I think this split, across basically all other splits, it's very clear cut who is the MVP of the league. I feel like people have relatively decent cases to make them all MVPs. I feel like that most of the community would say it's either between Svenskeren or CoreJJ. I want to say it's a few more of other people. I feel like that Impact has played really well to an MVP quality level. I feel like that Niski has played an MVP quality level, despite people saying that he hasn't. You're wrong. Go watch the games. You're definitely not looking correctly at him. What I do to qualify what is good to me and a good player is what I used to do for Faker. And then I used to watch other players. And then I used to kind of gauge, wait, this guy is just incredible. Like, if you break down League and you kind of break down performances and gameplay, you can understand what is a good player versus what is a bad player. You pair Faker, and then you pair them, and then you go just solely watch Faker. Cut off what the casters are saying, cut off what the other people are doing, thoroughly just focus on one player. I'm just using Faker as an example. And that's what I used to do to compare good players. And then I started to isolate performances between really good mid laners, really good AD carries, really good supports, really good junglers, really good top laners. I used to do that for every single role. I used to look at some of the best Korean top laners there ever was to play this game, and still there are going to be more to play this game. If you look at how Keen plays on a Freak of Freaks, one of the best top laners on the planet right now, you can clearly tell what is a good top laner versus what is a bad one, as if you were to see him play the way he plays, and if you were to see somebody else play in the other regions. Now, with that being said, I think that this split alone for the LCS Summer Split has been a very clear-cut standing of who is the MVP. Now, MVP to pretty much means who is the most valuable player to the league, who is the most valuable player to his team, and if his team is going to be able to function without him. Now, usually on those lines, we know that without certain MVPs for certain teams, they would just fall apart. I think that when you look at TSM, if you realize they don't have Bjergsen, then they completely just probably don't make playoffs, actually. If you probably break it down fundamentally and how they've been playing really atrocious this split. Now, with that being said, I believe every team has an MVP. But to really get the standout MVP is an MVP basically has to perform pretty much 99.99% good throughout the entire split. There was one game where you can get for all of them, to which where they'll have their one game freebie, as I like to give MVPs. I believe MVPs don't have to play flawlessly. You can have one or maybe two bad games, because remember, you being an MVP really is a high catalyst for your team getting wins, and a really high catalyst for your team actually performing at the best and highest level possible, because you are able to provide something that the other players necessarily can't do themselves at the moment in the game, because they are definitely focused on other things. The top three candidates for 2019 LCS Summer MVP. There were only a few players who stood high above the rest of the pack. League of Legends fans have seen many flashes of brilliance and hot streaks across Summoner's Rift during the 2019 LCS Summer Split, but there only have been a few players who have been able to stay consistent at the top of their game for the whole season. 10 players remain as the finalists for the 2019 Summer Split MVP award, but only one can truly take the throne as the best the region has to offer. This time around, the top 10 candidates are populated by 4 players from Team Liquid, 2 from Cloud9, and 2 from CLG. Frogic, Froggen, Crown are the outliers from Golden Guardians and Optic Gaming respectively. If you were to not put Froggen and Crown as MVPs in this type of discussion, I would be thoroughly appalled. Froggen and Crown played literally all pro level if you actually break down their games. People are going to be like, oh, well, Crown, yap, Azir, blah, 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 blah. Oh, so Crown ran it down mid game. Well, what did Bjergsen do for some of his games? Yeah, I ain't trying to hear all that. So, if you actually want to be fair, they all ran it down mid at certain points. Even Niski ran it down mid. Like I said before, you can't take one bad game from one bad week. They were going to lose the game anyway, no matter if they even played it out correctly. You still were going to lose. You have to understand, MVPs come with a lot of a different type of thing that flows with them. It goes on the line along the lines of, are you valuable in what you bring into the team in the early game, late game, mid game, your decision making, your pathing, and all that other stuff, roaming, map control, champ select. Are you getting the picks you need? And if you're not getting the picks you need, are you even succeeding in picks in which where you're not supposed to succeed, and then you're still doing well? I think that for MVPs, even if you have the bad lane matchup, I still feel like you are able to perform at a good level. It's like Faker back in the day when he used to get counterpicked, and he still won off his counterpick. He even beat his counterpick so badly that they would be irrelevant most of the game. So that's how I look at a lot of the different factors to MVP relatively to what a lot of people look at them about. Alright, so let's go with the candidates. So the candidates actually are, and this is going to go to the LCS Twitter page, which I don't want to, because you're going to see a lot of just fanboys, and I don't like seeing fanboys when it comes to that stuff. Alright, Biofrost, who I had as my All-Pro. All of these players were actually in my All-Pro, except for Xmithy. Like, I just feel like Meteos played so much better. Meteos played so much better than Xmithy. I'm not going to count Xmithy for this. I'm sorry, dude. Meteos played better. If people say they didn't watch Meteos' games, it's whatever at the end of the day, right? So looking at all of the candidates outside of Xmithy, Svenskeren and CoreJJ should be the absolute tops, and then you should have a tier after that to the point where it's Impact, and then it should be Niski, and then after that, and then Froggen. And then after that tier, it's kind of just like everybody else. I don't feel like Doublelift should be considered the split for an MVP because I feel like CoreJJ just played that much better. I feel like that Niski and Svenskeren are just in a little bit two different tiers, but they did really, really well. And I'm surprised that Niski even got here. I know a lot of people had talked about that Niski couldn't be as good as Jensen. And when I came in, JTH rated Niski way above I did. I mean, I had him at like 4th. He had him at like 3rd. Which is actually not too bad, per se. But if you told me at the beginning of this year, if Niski could be a top 4 mid laner, I would be like, I'll take that. It's a downgrade, but I'll take it, But Impact has had a really good split. Biofrost had a really good split. And I feel like all of these players had really good splits except for Doublelift and Xmithy. They had good splits, but not MVP quality. Like, you can't tell me that Xmithy had a better split than Froggen. That's crazy. But those are the candidates. Some of them I don't personally agree with. Over the next few weeks, Riot Games will reveal who earned the most votes and crown the winner of the 2019 LCS Summer Split MVP Award on Thursday, August 22nd, which is actually in 8 more days, a few days after the semifinal matchups. Although all 10 players have pretty good arguments as to why they're the most valuable, 3 stand out from the rest of the competition. Their contributors were essential to their team's success, while also dominating their role and the league with their ability to affect the rest of the match, CoreJJ. So pro players have usually been placed on the back burner when people think of MVP. They aren't the ones who get all the kills, and they usually aren't the ones who make the biggest plays to win the game. But CoreJJ's performance this year has been so stellar that he's brute forced himself into the conversation. In terms of stats, he's arguably the best support in the LCS. He has the second most assists in the league with a 185, an impressive kill participation, 78%, and the highest first blood rate of any support in North America, even though his stats are great. However, his ability to elevate the rest of his teammates makes him stand out among the rest of the candidates. CoreJJ has been the ultimate enabler for Team Liquid this split. His perfect vision control, his ability to take over the laning phase alongside Doublelift, and setting up his teams with perfect teamfight engages have all allowed Liquid to thrive this season. He's calm, clutch, and calculated, which is why he's a great choice to win the second straight MVP award. My boy, Impact Top Die. I know a lot of people were kind of mad online that he was even considered. If you look at his game, He played really good. He played really, really good. And MVP level, definitely played at MVP level. The one bad game I'll say is when he played it up against Cloud9, where he was getting just demolished by like when he got demolished by Kumo and Licorice. But I mean, Licorice demolishing him is, I mean, it's kind of to be expected at this point. But it's like, hey, it's whatever at the end of the day. Impact is another Liquid player who climbed his way into the MVP conversation. The star top laner has had a transformative year so far and made the first team All-Pro this summer split. Impact has always been a rock since he joined Team Liquid, but this year he's been something special. Impact has 110 assists, 57 kills, and a 4.6 KDA, which has him leading all LCS top laners in each of those categories, whether it's absorbing a ton of jungle pressure in the top lane or making game-winning plays on carry champions. Has been one of the most consistent players on the best team in the region. He's a Swiss Army knife that can fill in whatever role Liquid needs, but his transition to much of a more carrier-oriented player has catapulted him into the spotlight even further. He's shown that his champion pool is flexible, whether he's popping off on Aatrox or Gangplank or sitting back and playing Karma in a more supportive style. He ultimately does so much with so little, and it allows Liquid to use their power in many other places across Summoner's Rift. It would be surprising to see the 24-year-old top laner pick up his MVP award this time around. I think Impact was Cloud9's MVP when it was when Bjergsen won in 2016 summer. I feel like Impact was was literally an MVP that split as well. You know, he's probably not gonna get it, which is sad because he really did play at an MVP quality this all year round. But congrats to him. You are one of my MVPs, my boy. And my boy Svenskeren. Junglers are usually considered one of the most important players in competitive league, from providing pressure from their laners to tracking the enemy jungler. They have a ton of responsibility when it comes to a team's success. With that in mind, Svenskeren has been one of the best junglers in North America with his huge performances for Cloud9. Even though he played around 3 or 4 lanes, even though he played around 3 or 4 less games than the other starting junglers, he's still in the top 5 for multiple statistics, including kills, assists, kill participation, and first blood rate. On top of this, Svenskeren has had several clutch performances throughout the season and made so many big-time plays on champions like Rek'Sai, Jarvan, and Lee Sin. Additionally, C9's bottom lane and top lane haven't been dominating as much as they used to be before, so he's had to step up and shoulder the teams alongside Niski, who's had a great 2019 summer split. His play has been a make or break point for C9 all split long, and without him, this team wouldn't be where they are today. As a result, Svenskeren is a heavy favorite for MVP award. Yes, and I want to actually make this point. He didn't play 4 games in the split. He actually only played 14. That means he has to play even better in the games that he didn't get a chance to play at, and then not only that, he has to basically elevate the team with his performance in a way that where he's not playing all the games. So he has to play even better than the people that got a chance to actually fully play the games. This reminds me of when Kikis came to Vitality back in summer 2018, in which where he was considered an MVP, but he lost it to Caps. But I feel like if Caps didn't have as big a performance as that, then I believe Kikis would have actually got it, because he's basically just the same way, except, you know, albeit a lot more better and a lot more different. But yes, Svenskeren definitely coming in as a heavy favorite. If CoreJJ or Svenskeren win, I'm not going to be mad because they both deserved it. Both people know they played really well. And Impact, I'll remember you fondly, my boy. All right. Honorable mentions. Doublelift. Not this split. No, I just can't accept that. And if he wins, that's just that's appalling. You know, Wiggly. CLG's resurgence to the top of the LCS world would have been a welcome surprise to many people, and a lot of this success has come from the jungle and top side of the map. Wiggly and Ruin have helped CLG find an identity after spending so many seasons in the bottom half of the standings. He boasts the most kills of any LCS jungler, while also hovering in the top 5 for assist, KDA, and kill participation. Yes, Wiggly also has had a good MVP quality split, and I feel like all these players have. Just, I don't really know of why Doublelift should be in the conversation. Yeah, I mean, I understand why, but you know, these guys have just played that much better. And if we're throwing competition there, Niski, Froggen should be in there, Crown should be in there, but not X. Let's put a big X right there. Biofrost, really good as well. So yeah, the top 3 candidates for LCS 2019 Summer Split MVP should be CoreJJ, Impact for me, and Svenskeren. And I think Svenskeren should win it. Not even a Cloud9 bias or anything like that. I think that he's played just that much better than his opposition. And CoreJJ's, and they're literally right next to each other. So if either one of them win, I'm totally fine with it. So I'll see you guys later. Like, comment, subscribe. Most of all, enjoy. I'm the Nightwing, Way of Life Esports, signing out. See you guys later. Bye. Have a good day.